Good evening and welcome to the graduation of Atlanta Police Academy Recruit Class 237 and Citizen Police Academy Class 23. Please stand for the entrance of the command staff and city officials and remain standing for the presentation of the colors, the national anthem, and the invocation.
Left turn, march. Breeze in, go.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hail at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watch were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets' red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say, does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
This evening's invocation will be given by Investigator Mark House.
Good evening. Bow your heads. Let us pray. Dear Lord, this day is truly a great day in the lives of the members of Class 237 and their families. We give you thanks for the faithfulness of the parents who raised these young men and women to maturity. We give you thanks for the teachers who influenced their thinking and molded their character. We thank you for their spouses who provided support, love, and comfort, and who sacrificed so much. We thank you for the friends and peers who provided much-needed camaraderie. We thank you for the instructors, the commander, and the staff at the Atlanta Police Academy who have worked patiently with these new officers that they might come to this day with a sense of pride and accomplishment. Finally, we give you thanks for the members of this class who have studied together, worked together, while learning the meaning of true friendship, the spirit binding them together, a spirit of service and loyalty and devotion. For this we give you thanks. Amen.
Please be seated. Thank you for coming out to support the 24 new police officers that will be joining our ranks and the citizens that took the time to learn about the operations of the Atlanta Police Department. At this time, it is my pleasure to introduce Atlanta's 23rd Chief of Police, Chief George Turner.
Great, guys. I think this is a celebration. We're gonna change the mode of what we got going here. Let's give these graduates a round of applause. Can we all do that? This is supposed to be a celebration. We're going to try to celebrate. We're going to get through this really quickly, but I want to take a quick moment to welcome you on behalf of Mayor Kasim Reed, our 59th mayor of the city of Atlanta, and a great mayor and a great boss. I want to also, on behalf of Mike Geisler, our COO, he'll have an opportunity to speak here briefly to say thank you to Michael for the support that you've provided to the Atlanta Police Department. And then to Dave Wilkinson. Dave, where are you? Would you please stand? Yeah, Dave Wilkinson is the president and COO of the Atlanta Police Foundation, which is a huge supporter of the Atlanta Police Department. And then I really want to thank you all, the men and women that support these officers, these graduates. They have gone through a tremendous trial over the more than 23 weeks in class and then the 12 weeks in field training. And they've had a few moments to be on the streets. And I say a few moments, and I can do that. I'm in my 34th year on the Atlanta Police Department, so they've had a few moments on the streets. Before I finish my remarks, I want to start with just a quick passage from a little book called The Nobility of Policing, The Guardian of Democracy, written by Michael Nalla. And just the forward of this particular book. It says, "It has always been my firm belief that policing is one of the most noble professions. The actions of any police officer in any instance can impact an individual for life and even a community for generations. Given this responsibility, every police officer must be centered on what is important: service, justice, the fundamental fairness. These are the fundamental principles in which every police action must be grounded. The nobility of policing demands the noblest of character." That's forwarded by Dr. Stephen Covey. What a time that this statement is so true. As we wrestle with the challenges of Ferguson, the decision in Ferguson, as well as New York City, to these officers, these new sworn officers, I want you to understand, no time in our history have we as law enforcement been scrutinized at the level that we're being scrutinized today. There's nothing to be afraid of. The fact is, you've been trained to do the right thing in every situation that you find yourself facing. I want you to understand that your training will prevail in all these situations. You need to understand that the values that we hold dear to this profession, to this professional organization. First, being professional. You look great tonight. looking professional in all your appearances and the actions that you take with citizens. Your integrity, making sure that you clearly understand that it doesn't matter who's looking or not, do the right thing. Your commitment to this organization and to each and every one of us in this organization and the entire profession of law enforcement. And then finally, courage. You know, it takes about 5,000 to 6,000 applicants to hire the number of applicants that we hire each year. We hire about 200, 250 officers depending on the year. It takes us about 5,000 to 7,000 applicants to choose the individuals that's going to go through this academy. And you stand at the pillar of those individuals that have chosen to do this work. You chose to do this work. It takes courage to do this work. When citizens are running away, and they should, they call the police to come in and step in and handle the public safety for our citizens. That's a critical responsibility, and it takes courage to do that. I just will say this last point, and I'm going to sit down. You had an opportunity to take a picture here earlier. We had a command staff training last Friday at the academy. Gave us an opportunity to go to our academy. Not such a great place, but we're working on that, trust me. But the fact is, as I always go there, I look at the pictures on the wall, and I look at the stories that have been told by the individuals that have come through the Atlanta Police Department. Tonight, your picture will hang in history of this department. It's up to you what that legacy will be. You might be the police chief. You could be run off because you've embarrassed yourself, your family, and this police department. All that depends on you. It is absolutely up to you to understand the principles in which you've been instructed and trained, not just by the command staff and also the people that have trained you, but the folk that are sitting behind you and beside you, that they've brought you to this point. I want to challenge you to serve with honor. I want to challenge you to be able to go back to wherever our academy will be, a new academy, right, sir? Wherever our academy will be, and look at those photographs as you move through your career and think about the individuals that sit with you tonight. What happened to them? What kind of legacy did they leave? What kind of legacy are you leaving? I'll end with this. I want to thank the Citizen Police Academy. You have done what I think all citizens should do. Participate in a process to be able to understand what these men and women who serve our citizens go through. Just a brief bit of what they go through. It is so critical for us to have citizens to care enough about the work that we do that they spend time, the 10 weeks that you spend, learning about the work of our police department. Thank you for what you do. Thank you for your dedication to this city. And to all of the members here, I wish you a great and happy holiday season. And to these men and women, they will need the support of their family as they move forward in this career. Again, never in the history of our profession have we ever been scrutinized the way we've been scrutinized here lately. Nothing to be nervous about. I believe absolutely you're prepared to handle that. Thank you, and Godspeed.
Thank you, Chief Turner. This time, allow me a moment. I'd like to introduce the members of the command staff that are joining us here this evening. Immediately to my right is Deputy Chief Erica Shields, Support Services Division. We have Deputy Chief Sean Jones, Criminal Investigation Division. Deputy Chief C.J. Davis, Strategy and Special Projects Division. Deputy Chief Joseph Spillane, Field Operation Division. And Major Darrell Tollison, he's the Academy Unit Director. Over here off to your left, ladies and gentlemen, we have Major Wayne Whitmire, the Zone 5 Commander. Major Rodney Bryant, Zone 4 Commander. Assistant Zone 3 Commander, Captain Durant. Major 2 Commander, Major Van Hobbs. Major Tim Quiller, Zone 1 Commander. Major Timothy Peak, Zone 6 Commander. Major Lane Hangan, the Airport Commander. Director Angela Barrett, Director of our 911 Center. Major Stacy Gibbs, Information Services Section. Major Keith Meadows, I think I see him right there, our School Detective Unit. Major Byron Martin, our Community-Oriented Policing Section Commander. Major Elder Dancy, Corporate Services Section. And our Chief of Staff, Major Vincent Moore. At this time, it is my pleasure to introduce the City of Atlanta's Chief Operating Officer, Mr. Michael Geisler.
You know, the chief was telling me that I need to sign up for the Civilian Police Academy, and I guess the training occurs out at the training center. So I think there's something even more subtle there that he wants me to get out and take a look at. So, you know, I say this repeatedly, and I mean it with all sincerity. You know, I can't say it enough times. Every opportunity I have to be with the Atlanta Police Department is very important to me. You people, the police department here in Atlanta, I think are extraordinary in the things that you do. And I have the very greatest respect and high regard for all of you and the activities that you do. I mean, it's just a tremendous, tremendous job that is being done here in the city of Atlanta and for its citizens. It's my honor as a result tonight to join you for the graduation ceremony. On behalf of the mayor, Mayor Kasim Reed, and the city of Atlanta, I want to offer all of you our sincerest congratulations for all of you. The ceremony here tonight is a chance to reaffirm the administration's top priority, improving public safety across the city and making the Atlanta Police Department a best-in-class force in the United States. For the 24 graduates of the Atlanta Police Academy, tonight's accomplishment includes 22 weeks of rigorous training at the Academy and 12 weeks of field training with veteran officers. When you are out on the street, I know that that training will serve you well. As you know, the department recently reached the historic goal of hiring 2,000 officers. Reaching this goal means that the streets of Atlanta will have more officers protecting, patrolling, and proactively fighting crime. But more than just boots on the street, this department is equipped with the best and the latest training techniques and the most sophisticated policing technology available anywhere today. The Video Integration Center, or the VIC as it is called by our men and women in blue, significantly increases the Atlanta Police Department's coverage and situational awareness of the streets of Atlanta. The Video Integration Unit operates 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, and using video feeds of both public and private sector cameras and state-of-the-art smart analytical software allows for the close coordination of Atlanta's E911 Center for timely and efficient response to criminal and suspicious activities on Atlanta's streets. We are also using the PredPol system, a predictive policing system, to analyze data and then predict hotspots for when and where crimes are most likely to occur. Our officers are able to go to these hotspots and often, simply through their presence, are able to deter crime. I know that all good things flow from a safe and secure city, an environment where home and business owners are safe and confident in their living and working conditions. And finally, after a successful pilot program earlier this year, the Atlanta Police Department is working with our City Council to come up with a plan to outfit our police officers with body cameras. Police departments with body cameras see a decrease in complaints and an increase in community trust. In the city of Atlanta, community trust between the public and our police department is a necessity. The Atlanta Police Department has focused on community policing for years, and it is my firm belief that this focus has resulted in the lowest crime levels in years. I believe this focus was on display recently during the protests that happened in Atlanta. Our police department operated in a manner that allowed residents to exercise their First Amendment rights, while also ensuring that protesters, local residents, visitors, and businesses were safe and protected. I want to thank Chief Turner and the Atlanta Police Department for your efforts during this time and for these few weeks as a guiding example to our incoming officers. To the family and friends who are here tonight, this celebration also honors you. and the investment that you are making. We are here to honor your faith, your commitment, and your support of the choice your loved ones have made to serve this great city. So again, on behalf of Mayor Reed's administration, I thank all men and women for answering the call. I thank the members of the Civilian Police Academy for stepping up and taking a part in this activity. I thank all of our officers for becoming a police officer, and I thank you especially since it would have been easy to have chosen a safer profession. I thank each of you for choosing the City of Atlanta to serve in. We need sharp and dedicated people such as you. So again, I offer my congratulations. Just as the Chief did, I want to wish you all a very happy holiday season and look forward to seeing you all again.
Thank you, Mr. Geisler. Our keynote speaker for this evening is Mr. Robert C. Loudermilk, President and CEO of the Loudermilk Companies, an asset-based real estate management company based in Atlanta, Georgia, a post he has held since December of 2011 and is a partner in Loudermilk Bell. Loudermilk Bell, LLC, was founded in 2007 as a real estate joint venture between Robin Loudermilk, President of the Loudermilk Companies, and Dwight Bell, President of Cannon Equities. Prior to the Loudermilk Companies, he served as President and Chief Executive Officer of Aaron's Incorporated from 2008 through November 2011, and President and Chief Operating Officer from 1997 through 2008. Additionally, he was Vice President of Ball Stalker, a wholly owned subsidiary of Aaron's. Prior to his career with Aaron's Incorporated, he worked for Coldwell Banker Commercial Real Estate Services and subsequently Stratton Construction Incorporated. Mr. Loudermilk currently serves as investor and business advisor to State Traditions, LLC, and is a principal at Main Street Parking. He founded the public safety organization, the Buckhead Alliance, and currently serves on the boards of Genuine Parts Company, the Atlanta Police Foundation, and the Buckhead Community Improvement District. Mr. Loudermilk is a member of the Buckhead Coalition, the Downtown Atlanta Rotary Club, and is a former member of the Young Presidents Organization. A native of Atlanta, Georgia, Mr. Loudermilk graduated from the Lovett School in 1978, where he now serves as a trustee. He attended the University of Alabama and graduated in 1982 with an undergraduate degree in General Business Administration. Please give a warm round of applause for Mr. Robert C. Loudermilk.
Well, thank you all very much. I'm honored to be here tonight. When Dave Wilson called me and asked me if I would mind saying a few comments, I was like, you kidding me? I wouldn't miss it for the world. I was also asked to say a few personal stories at the Atlanta Police Foundation. I spent the last couple of days thinking, what in my personal, luckily, I've really had no real personal experiences with the Atlanta Police Department, and I appreciate that. But today it hit me as I was sitting here listening to Chief Turner talk, that he and I go back a long way. And not only do we go back a long way, but it's a tremendous lesson for us to learn about persistence. Chief Turner was, I believe, the driver for Mayor Andrew Young, who is Ambassador Young, who was a great friend of my father. He and my father and Andrew Young were phenomenal. My father supported Andy for mayor way back in the 80s, I believe it was. And Chief Turner would come to the house with Andy Young. And so it's incredible to see a man start from the very beginning and now is the chief of one of the most progressive, well thought of police departments in this country. And frankly, we have visitors from around the world that come and see. And just last week we had a Police Foundation meeting, and they had a gentleman from Pittsburgh shadowing our chief, learning how to do police work right. So I just want to say, I want to join with the graduation ceremony of the Academy's 237th recruitment class. I appreciate the invitation to be here and to celebrate this incredible occasion. As said before, I am a third generation Atlantan. I have a fourth generation. I have a son who's 25 years old. And my family and I really want to thank each and every person here for what the commitment to this great city of Atlanta. Without everybody in this room, folks like you, Atlanta would nowhere near be the city that, as our vision says, is good for people, good for business, and good for life. I firmly believe that. I've been here. My father was born here. My grandfather was a Georgia Power lineman, worked in these streets, and was protected by Atlanta Police Department. You only have to look back a couple of years to see where we've come from. About 12 years ago, street-level crime was off the chart here. We had organized crime. We had a national organized crime. We're suffering some severe lack of leadership. And frankly, crime was just out of control at the highest levels. In Buckhead alone, in the community that I live in, Buckhead alone, we had 12 murders, starting with the Ray Lewis incident. And to my knowledge, what I'm told, not one person was arrested or convicted for those crimes. Major Spillane, you were right in the middle of it with me when we were in Major Spillane and I at Zone 2 worked hand in hand trying to get our arms around what was going on. The department, a lot of folks want to blame the Atlanta Police Department, but that simply wasn't the whole picture. As we worked through the issues of the city, it became apparent that the problems we faced were widespread amongst us all. Lack of leadership, both in the city government and amongst the private citizens. Corruption, resulting in a glaring lack of a public-private partnership that we enjoy today. Yes, we had bad eggs. We had bad eggs in the police department. We had bad eggs in the community. But all of us good eggs were letting this happen. And this really put our city in danger. As the community came together, as I said, the private-public partnership with Major Spillane, the police officers, as we came together to tackle these issues in our community, we found it much easier to deal with the external issues that we were attacking our great city. It started with Mayor Shirley Franklin when she came in office. She brought in Chief Pennington from New Orleans, who had a great track record there. Chief Pennington stood up to the rampant crime in the city. Mayor Shirley Franklin stepped up to the corruption in our government offices. And the formation of the Atlanta Police Foundation with, as we said before, with Dave Wilson as our leadership. We created the tremendous private-public partnership. And the outstanding men of the men and women of our Atlanta Police Department and the private citizens, businesses, and the organizations of Atlanta. Under today's leadership, Mayor Kasim Reed, Chief George Turner, and the Atlanta Police Foundations of our own, Atlanta Police Foundation, we say today crime is toast. And that is, as you know, the motto of our breakfast every year where we honor the men and women of the police department for the valid acts of valor that they perform every year. We owe this to our families and especially our children to make Atlanta the safest city in the United States. I believe our kids are our primary responsibility, and it's our moral obligation, all of us here, to make Atlanta the safest community to grow up in and to become all that we can be and all they can be. By all of us in this room working on the problem of youth crime, by providing alternatives and direction on a daily basis to our youth in our homes and our schools and in our communities, we can assure that the future of Atlanta is one that is safe and secure. As you begin your duties as Atlanta police officers, always remember the values and skills you learned at the academy. Regardless of your mission, assignment, or designation, never forget that you serve in one of the most powerful and important professions in this city, to serve and protect, and that you are the face of one of the most progressive and highly regarded law enforcement agencies in the Southeast, the country, and frankly, the world, the Atlanta Police Department. Today, the city is safe as it has been since 1969. Crime is at its lowest in more than 4 decades. The police department is the largest in the city's history and fast becoming leader, as we heard, in police technology. Much credit has been given to the leadership and men and women of the Atlanta Police Department who are determined to fight the bad guys and to make this city a safer place. And much credit must also be given to the community and business leaders who, through the Atlanta Police Foundation, have been a catalyst for these accomplishments. The efforts and leadership of the Atlanta Police Foundation has truly helped raise the profile of public safety in the city and has helped the APD launch some of the most innovative, cutting-edge policing strategies such as Operation SHIELD, Video Integration Network, Predictive Policing, and the Atlanta Police Leadership Institute, to name a few. All this in light of making your job safer to make the community safer in which we all live. Although you're graduating together, you may end up serving in vastly different areas of the city, from a driver to the police chief, or both. But regardless of which area of unit you're assigned to, the demands will be the same, and much will be demanded of you. You will be expected to protect us from those who do us harm, to be good role models for our children. As I constantly tell my own children, always do the right thing. Make us feel safe and protected in our homes, our schools, and our businesses. The expectations are lofty. Those are tough expectations. You have a lot resting on your shoulders, but we are confident that you will rise to meet these challenges. To the families and friends out there, proud parents, supportive spouses, and admiring children in the audience tonight, you have provided these recruits with the foundation and support that has led them to this ceremony. Thank you very, very much. You are and will continue to be reminders of why they have chosen this profession to protect, to serve, and to make Atlanta a safer city. Tonight, you walk in as recruits. Tonight, you answer the call. Tonight, you will become police officers. Congratulations.
Thank you, Mr. Letterman. It's an honor to introduce to you the Valedictorian of Class 237, Officer Garrett Rolfe. Let's give Officer Rolfe a warm round of applause as he comes forth to present his valedictorian address.
Good evening, honored guests and fellow classmates. I'm Officer Garrett Rolfe, and it is my privilege to speak tonight on behalf of Class 237. I would like to thank Chief Turner and the members of the command staff, our fellow officers, and all of our friends and family for coming tonight for this special occasion. Our journey to this day began more than a year ago. We all came from different backgrounds with the common goal of becoming Atlanta police officers. Though many tried, we were the few who were afforded the opportunity to attend the Atlanta Police Academy. There, we were fortunate enough to have Officer DeConte Davis as our class coordinator. I would especially like to thank Officer Davis because from day one, he tested us to see if we had what it takes. He tested the strength of our will, our integrity, our discipline, our physical fitness, and our intelligence. We learned the importance of integrity and discipline, and I don't think any of us will ever forget the importance of listening. We spent many early mornings and late days making sure we were given the best training possible to prepare us to fulfill our duties. And to my brothers and sisters of Class 237, through the rigors of training, we become a team, and more importantly, we become a family. We learned and struggled together, and today we have truly earned our badges. Let's not forget the hard work and sacrifice it took to get them, and let's never forget, and let's never let anything tarnish them. Let's always continue to learn, to do the right thing, and to keep ourselves and each other safe so that we can go home every night. Congratulations, Class 237. We made it. Thank you.
At this time, with the Executive Command Staff and our Academy Director, Major Tollison, please join Chief Turner and Mr. Loudermilk on the stage for the awards presentation. Officers receive over 800 hours of instruction during the Academy training and must pass every written exam in order to continue in the program. The Academic Achievement Award is presented to the officer who achieved the highest academic average determined from the weekly written examinations. The Class 237 Academic Achievement Award goes to Officer Garrett Rolfe. Officer Rolfe, please come forward to accept your award. The Physical Training Award is presented to the officer who achieved the highest average in the 4 physical fitness tests given during the Academy. These tests include a 1.5-mile run and an obstacle course. The Class 237 Physical Training Award goes to Officer Brandon Johnson. Officer Johnson, please come forward to accept your award. During their training, these officers fired almost 1,000 rounds each from their service weapon and shotgun and needed a minimum score of 80% on the pistol range to continue in the program. The Top Gun Award is presented to the officer who achieved the highest firearms score during the 1.5 weeks of firearms training. Class 237's Top Gun Award goes to Officer Garrett Rolfe. Officer Rolfe, please come forward to accept your award. Now, we will prepare for the diploma presentation for Class 237 and for Citizens Police Academy Class 23.
Class 237, stand. Hey, cover. Cut. Hey.
All right, Officer Zachary Atha. Officer James Belts. Officer Corey Commerce. Officer Leander Delashow. Officer Ricky Farrow. Officer Wesley Floyd. Officer Dominique Grooms. Officer Cameron Haslam. Officer Brandon Johnson. Officer Henry Johnson. Officer Brittany Jolly. Officer Kevin Lopez Lacona. Officer Dominique Matthews. Officer Justin McCumas. Officer Hodiah Mitchell. Officer Nicholas Moore. Officer Abdul Ghatami. Officer Benny Pena. Officer Virginia Pena. Officer Jeffrey Robbins. Officer Garrett Rolfe. Officer Garrett Shanker. Officer Philip Skidmore. And Officer Jordan Trojan. Now for our Citizens Police Academy Class 23. Samuel Blanchard. Rafaela Durant Johnson. Brad Edmonds. Clay Edwards. William Gilmore. Sarah Haas. James Johnston. Alexis Neal. Brian O'Neill. Janice Osei. Floyd Porter. Douglas Robinson. Scott Rosenberg. Tracy Sanders. Lee Temple. And finally, Suzette Wright. Well, let's give the graduates of Class 237 and Citizens Police Academy 23 a round of applause. At this time, the department would like to recognize the training cadre by having them all stand. They are under the direction of Deputy Chief Erica Shields and Major Darrell Tollison. Let's give them a warm round of applause. Before Deputy Chief Erica Shields gives her closing remarks, she would like to thank our guest speaker and present him with a small token of appreciation. Deputy Chief Shields and Mr. Loudermilk, will you please come forward?
Mr. Loudermilk, on behalf of the Atlanta Police Department, I would like to say thank you. Thank you for your commitment to the Atlanta Police Foundation. I realize the newer officers, the foundation is just a mere speaking point, and you will hopefully begin to understand the significance in your career that the foundation plays. Tuition reimbursement, affordable housing, they funded PredPol, I could go on. And Mr. Loudermilk has recently become the chairman of the Police Foundation, which is a huge time commitment, and quite frankly, he didn't need to do it. Add to that, the Loudermilk family gave the Atlanta Police Department, well, the foundation, $1 million so that we could build the Video Integration Center. Thank you for your commitment to the Atlanta Police Department. I've never spoken to a Christmas tree before. This is different. Typically, we don't have our ceremonies here. We were bumped out of upstairs. So for those of you that have had to stand all evening, please accept our apologies. This is less than ideal, and I'm sorry it worked out this way. To the Citizens Police Academy, thank you. The command staff sincerely appreciates the time commitment you have made. It's a long commitment. You don't need to do it. And we recognize that you may not agree with everything we do, but our goal is for just to give you an understanding of the job requirements that we face on a daily basis. So thank you to all of you for what you have given us. Thank you. Class 237, it is truly a pleasure and an honor to officially swear you in tonight. And on behalf of my colleagues in the Atlanta Police Department command staff, allow me to say congratulations on a job well done. You've chosen a profession unlike any other, particularly given the fact that you have opted to work in a city. If you stick with it, you will become proficient at the highest level of professional problem solving. As you may have garnered by now, your timing is unique. You are entering policing at an incredibly trying time, one where years of frustration with the entire judicial system is landing at the feet of law enforcement. And perhaps unfairly, you as newly sworn officers will be judged by the actions of officers before you. It will be difficult to be on the receiving end of distrust and contempt when you are weeks into a career and simply trying to do the right thing. Some of the commentary that will be directed towards you will be venomous in nature, and over time, if you allow it, it will become a part of your fiber. Whereas tonight, you want to help people, 3 years from now, the conversation will be markedly different. Your comments will then fall along the lines of what idiots people are, everyone is a liar, and why don't they just get a job? As different as you all are today, my fellow commanders and I can predict with a high degree of accuracy your future change in attitude. In part, it will be due to the incessant exposure to negative occurrences on the job. Police simply are not called when things are going well. Coupled with this will be the sheer volume of time that you will spend at work. Work will inevitably become the driving force of your existence, and in short order, your world will become one of signals, codes, perps, and victims. And over time, us against them makes complete sense. Initially, them will be the perpetrators, but eventually it will apply to society as a whole. Yet ask yourself this: if society as a whole doesn't get it, then who really is out of touch? If you're completely honest with yourself, then you will know the answer is law enforcement. When us against them starts making sense, then you are rationalizing, and this is when you're in trouble. Everything that the Academy staff has drilled into you over the last 6 months becomes disposable. The person is in a high crime area. Therefore, I know they're guilty of something, and I can frisk them. The car has to have dope. Look at the driver. Look at his rims. I'm sick of her not prosecuting her boyfriend. Forget it. I'm not going to that 911 call. Where does it end? You've taken an oath to represent them, the communities and the public. How can you consider yourself successful if them is now the opponent? To be fair, policing is difficult, and it's hard to navigate on a good day, particularly as it pertains to handling 911 calls. You will be asked to make split-second decisions that may require that force be used. It is a part of the job. But it is not sufficient that the force used fit into some neatly defined case law that was drafted in a controlled environment by individuals as far removed from your world as possible. You need to enter into policing with a firm belief in the value of human life. Then case law becomes relevant. There cannot be watered-down subgroups of human with varying values applied to each life. If you have to use force, use that which is absolutely necessary. If you have to use deadly force, your loved ones will want to know why. What level of comfort will you have if you have to respond that we had to kill someone today because possibly they were illegally selling cigarettes? The career path before you will not be easy, and being average will present the path of least resistance. The department doesn't need average. We are better than that. My outlet, for me, has always been sports, and I believe that numerous parallels can be drawn between the sports world and law enforcement, one of them not being financial. COO.
That's the second D.
There are those athletes who are really great, and then there are those athletes who are exceptional. Track and field star Jackie Joyner-Kersee is one such exceptional athlete. She is considered to be one of, if not the greatest female athlete ever, having participated in 4 Olympics and winning 6 medals over the course of 12 years. Jackie Joyner Kersey is the most decorated female athlete in Olympic track and field history. But that's not what makes her exceptional. By all accounts, she should have failed. She grew up in East St. Louis, which is arguably one of the most discouraging places in America. It's a small city outside of St. Louis that is synonymous with urban blight and crime. I went there once, not by choice. I took the wrong exit off the interstate. But I drove around for a while. I drove around because I needed to know. I needed to know what weren't they putting on a postcard. The silence of the area was eerie. Trash was piled up to roof levels as sanitation workers were striking. Homes were missing windows, and people just sat outside in the heat, waiting and watching. Joyner Kersey grew up in this, when the rate of homicide was soaring and crack was destroying the little that was left there. Yet presented with all of these obstacles and tripwires, she prevailed. Joyner Kersey will tell you that she had a goal and she stayed committed. She would also tell you that she didn't mind being different. Being average wasn't on her radar. I sincerely hope that you stay committed to the path that the Academy has put you on, that you continue to learn, grow, and realize that them is not the opponent, but rather those who you have the responsibility to serve. Thank you, and may God be with you.
Thank you, Deputy Chief Shields. At this time, can everyone please stand for the benediction?
Class 237, stand. Ready. Cover. Cut.
Lord, as we leave this place tonight, we ask for the courage to go where others will not go. We ask for the strength of mind to protect ourselves, strength of body to protect others, strength of spirit to lead. We ask for renewed dedication to our families, our profession, and our community. But most of all, Lord, we ask that you would be with us. Amen.
Ladies and gentlemen, on behalf of Chief Turner and the City of Atlanta, we want to thank all of you for sharing the celebration with us. This concludes tonight's program. Please join us here for a reception honoring these new officers and the Citizens Police Academy.